guys, welcome back to another video. I'm super excited for today's video because this is definitely a different look. This is not your average makeup look. This is not the look you'll probably wear to your 9 to 5, but it's fun. It's creative and it just gets your creative juices flowing. So this look did take me 4 hours. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like it was easy. I know when you watch tutorials, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, like she's doing it like it's nothing. But I promise you guys, I did struggle with today's look, but we made it through. I am freaking obsessed. I will go ahead and pop the picture up right here of this look in blue. I will show the artist here so that way obviously I can give her credit. Hers was completely matte. It was a beautiful blue look, and I decided to, of course, do some orange and red tones and add shimmer in the middle instead. So I'm super excited to show you guys how I did this look. It took so much time, so much effort, but it's always worth it, right? So the palette that I'm going to be using today is, of course, the Carnival, the Antidote palette. I told you guys that I would bring you some more looks with this palette, so here I am keeping that promise. And you guys saw my first tutorial using this palette. I used the green tones in the palette, and of course I know you guys want to see looks with all of the colors in the palette, so I decided to head over to the orange and yellow side for today's look. For my first look with this palette, I did do a really beautiful green look. I'll go ahead and link it down below so you guys can check it out if you have not already. It was really nice, a very clean cut crease with a blown out outer corner. Very pretty. It was also very simple to do. So for my second look with the palette, I really wanted to come out with something really nice, really creative, something that you don't usually see tutorials for on YouTube. For me, I feel like we see a lot of just your average cut creases, halo eye, smoky eye, but I never really see YouTubers do looks like this, which I feel like a lot of people would like to learn. So I'm super excited for today's tutorial. I hope you guys are too. Also, in the first look using this palette, I wasn't able to use a shimmer. They have like liquid shadows in the collection, so I did use one in today's look. I am wearing it on my lid. It's super, super beautiful. So I'm going to be showing you guys how this works in the video as well. I'm not going to ramble on and on in today's intro because I hope you guys are excited, because I'm super excited. I mean, girl, this look took forever, but is she not cute? Is she not a moment? Like, sometimes I surprise myself at what I can actually do as well. I'll do a look and I'll be like, wow, like, girl, you did that. So I did that today. Very proud of myself. Very excited to show you guys how I created it. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into today's video. Before we jump in, please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys have not already. And of course, without further ado, if you guys would like to see how I created this really intricate eye look, we should go like fire flames, right? Like, is it not giving you fire vibes like the fire emoji? Because it really is giving me that kind of vibe. Anyway, if you guys would like to see how I created this look today, then just keep on watching. Guys, let's go ahead and get started with today's look. So I am out of town, as you guys might know from seeing over on Instagram. I did post that I'm going to be out of town, so I don't know the exact colors of everything, so just bear with me as I do this voiceover, and everything that you need to know will be in the description box. So I started off with the P.LOUISE base in the shade of 2.5. I'm going to go ahead and blend that in, and then of course, like I said, we're going to be using the Carnival 4 palette. This is the Antidote palette. So beautiful. So I wanted to use those more orange yellow tones, so that's what we're going to be using for today's look. So I'm first going to go into this shade right here, and of course I don't have the palette with me, so I can't tell you exactly the shade name, but I'll leave it down below in the description box. So to start off this look, you guys can see it's very artistic, I would say. It's more line work, so you want to start off with a very tiny brush, and this brush right here is actually a Morphe brush. I'll leave it linked down below as well. And what I'm doing is basically creating the shape that I'm going for. So doing the other eye is pretty easy because I already done one eye, so I'm basically just following the same exact thing that I did on the other eye. So I'm starting off with that tiny brush to just outline the shape that I want to do, and then I start to really intensify it to make it really nice and intense. You don't have to be too perfect with this because we are going to go ahead and clean it up anyway. So I'm going to move on to this shade right here, and I'm just going to basically start to blend out that darker line that we created, and that's all I'm going to do. You want to keep sticking to this smaller brush at first because you want to keep it not too neat, but a little neat, so that way you don't have that much cleaning up to do. So that's what I'm doing right here, and you guys, this definitely takes time because I'm using this super tiny brush, so definitely have patience when it comes to this look. The next shade I'm going to go into is this one right here. This is probably my favorite shade that I used for this look, and now you guys can see I'm going in with a fluffier brush. because now since we're getting more towards the brow, I really want these colors to look really nice and diffused. So that's what I'm going to do right here. The last shade I'm going to be using is this color right here. It's like an orangey, mustardy yellow. It's so pretty, and I'm taking an even fluffier brush. So the fluffier the brush, the lighter the color is going to be. The more dense the brush, you're going to pack on a lot more pigment. So like I said, I'm getting very close to my brow at this point, and I really want this color to be really diffused and kind of just look like a wash of color. So now that I know where everything is going, I'm basically going to go back in with every single shade and just re-intensify it. So with this step, you're just going back and forth until you feel like everything is exactly how you want it and it's blended to perfection. So now that I'm pretty happy with everything, I'm going to go ahead and actually clean up the inner part of that shape and really carve it out so that way I can go in with my base and actually create the shape itself. So I'm just taking a Q-tip and some micellar water. This is very similar to exactly what I do when I do a simple cut crease. And to actually fill in that shape, I'm going to be using my blank canvas, of course. So I started off with this brush, which is the brush that I always use to cut my crease. This is actually a Morphe brush, and as you guys can see, it's very big. And there was no way I was going to be able to fill this in with that big brush, but I tried. So I decided to actually switch over to a smaller, more detailed brush. And that brush is from Morphe as well, and so is this one too. So I'm going to link both of them down below so you guys can check them out. But as you guys can see, this smaller one is just so much easier. So I went ahead and carved out that shape, and now I'm going to go back in with the darkest shade and just re-intensify everything, because now I can see exactly how the eye is going to look because it's nice and clean. So moving on to the next part of this eye look, I'm basically going to do the same exact thing that I did with the other shape that I created towards the brows. So basically the same thing. I wanted to show you guys that I actually made a mistake. So I just took that buffing brush that had leftover eyeshadow base on it, and I basically just rubbed it out. So it didn't take it away completely, but it basically faded the line, so that way I was able to create a different line, if that makes sense, because I made it a little bit too narrow and I just wanted to fix it. So that's a trick, so you guys don't have to wipe off your entire eye look if you make a mistake. So like I said, I'm just basically going to do the same exact thing. So I'm starting off with the darkest shade, creating the shape, creating that wing, and then I'm going to go in with all the same colors all over again. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to work on that outer wing. So with this part right here, I'm being super messy, you guys, because it really doesn't matter how much you drag the shadow down because I'm going to clean it up anyway. Right now, I'm just basically focusing on really creating that nice blend to where you can see every single color. And then I just went in with the makeup wipe, and this trick is like magic because you would never know that I was being so messy. So it's super simple, super easy. And then I just went in with some concealer to just clean up that wing, and that was basically it. Very, very easy. And then I did go ahead and take a super detailed brush. This is an angle brush just to make sure everything was nice and intense. And then for the center of the lid, I decided to go in with this shimmer right here first. So before I decided to even go in with the liquid shadow, I was like, let me put this on first. And it was really beautiful on its own. The shimmers in this palette are to die for. They're absolutely stunning. And I put that shimmer all over that middle part of the eye, even all the way up towards my brows. So that entire area, you want it to be really nice, really shimmery. And then I went ahead and popped on my lash. These are one of my favorite lashes ever. They're super fluffy, but they're short, so they don't cover all the work that you did on your eye. And these lashes are from the brand GFM, I believe. I'll go ahead and link them down below. They're freaking stunning. So here's the eye look. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the face makeup. So for the face makeup, I'm gonna start off with primer, of course. I'm gonna be using the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Primer. I absolutely adore this primer. It's so good. It's exactly what the name says. It feels like water on the skin. Very hydrating, and even when I mix this with other primers like I am today, it does not ball up, which is amazing. So the second primer I'm using is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. This primer I like to put in the center of my face, anywhere where I feel like I have larger pores, and it gives me that really beautiful airbrush finish. And then for foundation, I'm going to be mixing two. I'm first going in with the Hard Candy GLAMAFLOUGE foundation. I'll leave the shade names down below, but I also decided to mix it with some of the UOMA Beauty Say What foundation. The colors were just a little bit different. As you can see, the Hard Candy is a little warmer and deeper. The UOMA Beauty was a little lighter, so mixing the two was perfection. And then to go ahead and blend it out, I'm just using my e.l.f. dual ended brush. So it's a foundation brush on one side, concealer brush on the other, and it blends so well. It's amazing. For cream bronzer, I just went in with the M Cosmetics cream bronzer. It's bomb. Love the formula. It blends really, really well. So I went in with that. And then to conceal, I went in with the One Size concealer. I've been loving this concealer. I just talked about it in like a little favorites video of products I've been loving. And yeah, I used it for today's video. It's very full coverage and it's just absolutely stunning, you guys. I love it so much. It's definitely a hit or miss, I feel like, for some people. For me, it's definitely a hit. It's just the coverage is amazing. It doesn't look dry and cakey, and I adore it. I think it's bomb. So I'm using that, and then I went in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I just didn't physically show the powder, but that's what I'm using for today's look. Super simple. It's a powder that I love, and I'm sorry I'm out of frame, but at this point, I was just trying to get this face makeup done because this eye look took forever. I used my Sephora Micro Smooth powder to set the rest of my face, and the shade name will also be down below. And then moving on to bronzer, I decided to use an oldie but goodie. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Give Me Sun. It's so beautiful, especially with the tan that I have going on right now. It just gives me that really beautiful, warm, sun-kissed look. So I went ahead and drenched my face in bronzer. And then for blush, I wanted to go in with a really pretty bright blush. This is the Rouge Romance palette from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, and I went into the shade Tea Room. It was perfect for this look, and this palette is so pigmented, like you guys can see for yourself. It's stunning. So I decided to go in with that blush because it was just calling my name and the tones just worked perfectly. So of course I'm going overboard with the blush, like seriously ridiculous. So now I'm going in with the Makeup Forever highlighter. I haven't used this highlighter in forever. I think this one is in the shade 02. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and research everything as soon as I finish this voiceover, so everything will be down below. But this highlighter is stunning. I haven't used it in a while, and wow, it's gorgeous. So I always like to go back in with my blush brush to make sure I don't have just a stripe of highlighter on my skin. And that basically completes the face makeup, you guys. So pretty. I'm obsessed. So let's go ahead and move back into the eyes. So like I told you guys, I wanted to use one of the liquid shadows. This is one of them. I'll leave the name below. So pretty, and this is what the color looks like. You guys, this took that shimmer from the palette to a whole nother level. It's so reflective. I was obsessed, you guys. Look at the way that this shines. It's not even glitter. It's like a sheen, like a metallic sheen. It is so pretty. So that's what I did to the top of the lid. And now to work on the lower lash line, I started off with a black liner. This one right here is from One Size Beauty, and I just put this on the outer and inner parts of my waterline because then I decided to go in with this more gold, like yellow gold liner from ColourPop Cosmetics, and I put that right in the center just so that way it can be cohesive to the gold that we have going on the lid. And then I just decided to go in with the flat definer brush, and basically I just added all the same colors that I used for the eye to the lower lash line. So of course the lash shade that I'm using is that darker shade just to connect that wing and the outer corner of the lower lash line. So very simple, very easy, nothing crazy. And then I decided to do a little inner corner wing, a little cat eye moment. And I'm using the Cara Beauty Waterproof Liquid Liner in black. This liner is so bomb, and I feel like everyone loves it, so it's always sold out. But if you can get your hands on it, it's amazing. It also comes in brown. I highly recommend that you pick up both because it is so good. So that's basically the eyes. I'm going to finish it off with some lower lash mascara. This is the MAC Giga Black Lash Mascara, and this mascara coats my lower lash line like there's no tomorrow. They look so long, so wispy, and I love this mascara. It's so good. If you need a new bottom lash mascara, this is it. So moving on to the lips, I haven't showed my lip combo in a while because I can never stay in frame, but I'm using a Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics lip liner here. I've been obsessed with it lately, and honestly, as you guys know, KKW is rebranding, so I don't even know if she's going to bring back the nude No. 2 lip liner, which is my fave. So I've been trying to branch out to other lip liners. So in the center of my lips, I just popped on some Laura Lee Los Angeles Nakey Nakey. I'm just redefining my lips, and then I'm going in with this KKW lipstick, and again, she's rebranding branding and I didn't even think about it when I was doing this look, so I apologize in advance that you still cannot get this lipstick. And then I just decided to go in with a gloss, and this gloss is from Artist Couture. I'll link it down below, and that's basically the lip combo. So moving on to setting spray, I wanted to use the Desi Skin Setting Spray. It's so gorgeous, and I just learned a new hack. So I'm drying down the setting spray here, but then I sprayed my sponge on the side that didn't have any foundation, and I basically pressed the spray into my skin, and the glow that this gives your skin is so beautiful. I seen someone do it on TikTok, and I just couldn't believe how gorgeous their skin looked. And that basically completes today's makeup look. What do you guys think? I'm so obsessed, and I love this look so much. I hope you guys do too. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and of course, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys!